supposed to continue the speaking and the information about human trust and human relation. As you now can see, there exists fully and completely the state of attitude and mind within this current realm that you are in that is giving you constant satisfaction, pleasefulness, and innovation of higher thoughts. These existence that is dwelling and flowing, and you are beginning to discovering these trust relationships right now. Humanity is so longing for recognizing itself in one with spirit. Now, spirit it really is the highest cause of all physical forms. We thereby can say that you really are body, mind, and spirit, or as what we would like to say, body, mind, and then higher attainments of spirit, livefulness in mind, and energy, activity, dwelling and flowing within you. Now, your body cannot survive without its mind, and it cannot survive without connection to spirit, because all three of these connection is necessary for your being to be able to exist. Now, the highest cause is spirit, which is the light dwelling and flowing within everything today. Thereby, the words are correct. Everything really is spirit and is materialized from a spiritual form. That means that whatever object you can point to, there exists a spiritual imprint of that object that knows exactly what the object really is. That is very important, and it is also key important that you learn to keep your mind and mentality up in higher spirit, not inside the dwelling point of fear and separation that exists within your mind. This is so that a higher educated soul has the ability to hold spirit and to be one with the spiritual source, their spiritual source, which is the light, which is their what you can call image of the purpose of creation itself. In many ways, your so-called doctrines from religion is also naming this thing that we call spirit for God, and it is also naming it many other things. But the true fact remains, and that is that spirit just simply means the perfect impression upon what reality is. That means that the closer you begin to move towards spirit, you will begin to understand how perfect reality always is created and hold for you. Look how beautiful nature is. Look how beautiful the mind truly is. Look how beautiful human interaction really is. And you felt this today when you really could feel into the harmonious joy of being in creative spheres with a common human being, and to have a common ground into natural recognition of reality. What you felt into today is very important for you to begin to learn, teach, and activate, because higher spirit is always seeking to reunite the attitude, mind, and mentality for reality of higher purposes at all the time. This is the major gift spirit has to offer reality or existence right now. The recognition of that the spiritual cause of all things always is good if it is working in harmony with higher thoughts. If the activity is set in motion or in place by lower thoughts, you will also recognize that very fast and say that this activity is what we call bullshit. And we are using that word due to the fun of saying it, but also that it is actually a whole lot of truth. That there is a whole lot of brain shit that human beings produced and are acting from. And all of that is caused by thoughts and thinking from the sphere of the lower order, from things, you see, which is diminishing the human resource every moment. Because you are the highest source of creation and you are here to live and to be one with spirit at all times and to always hold your mind and mentality up into the spiritual realm of the light law, which knows the perfect impression upon physical reality, and see how everything is perfect for you every single moment. Now, back to the most important knowledge within all of this, and that is the rock solid trust that is dwelling and flowing within you when you begin to recognize yourself as one spiritual source, attaining the crystalline spiritual structure of this reality. And also this liquid structure, plasmatic structure of higher source. In this way, you can think about reality as a coexisting place between spirit and physical form. Whatever you are producing in terms of higher thoughts, emotion, and feelings and so forth, even your pictures and fantasies and all forms of impressions that you are imposing upon yourself is being drawn to spirit and then rematerialized into some sort of a physical form. And thereby you can say that all of the blockages and karma and traumatic life experiences are literally the cause of improper thought activity, thought and emotions, of course, which is binding the source of spirit to matter state principle, and it's causing, how to say, distortion to this reality. Now, when you begin to see your power as a spiritual human being, to begin to recognize that you are spirit, the highest source of creation, and that practically everything that is not, how to say, perfectly made always can be dissolved back up to light and then reorganized to its perfect structure again by you addressing that with your thoughts practically and breathing into it and breathing the light into it, so that spirit gets its attainment over it. Now, when you begin to get and realize this, that you always are spirit and are always active in spiritual matters and in spiritual forms, uh, this is the time period when you should begin to give blessings and thanks and rejoice this reality, because this reality truly is spirit and everything is coming from spirit and belongs to spirit and is seeking to be expressed in its perfect form here into physicality. In this way, you are always channeling spirit, the highest attainment of this reality, light, love, beauty, harmony, friendship, and eternal peace. This is the gift for humanity, really. That when you find back into the proper foundation and structure for this reality, you would have such a good time here on earth that you would hardly believe it. And this is a fact, because you, as a spiritual attainment with body and mind, uh, is therefore consequently producing information to spirit for what to grown back into the structure of this reality as physical form, or in a physical format, in this way that you can experience whatever expression you are giving out. And therefore it is also very easy to resolve false thinking and false thought and all the bullshit that you are holding to yourself due to false thinking, matter state thinking, which is of a lower form. To some degrees, there is of course necessary, but much less than what you actually think. Um, and in the future, you are going to be guided and shown how you can materialize much more directly from spirit. And you do that from choice, really. Choice is the existential importance for materializing from spirit. But much more so, you are going to discover that yourself by your own individual processes. So you don't really need to mention about that technology now, because you are going to experience it first. Now, when that is being said, you must remember that every emotion and every thought and every feeling and everything that you bless, you are putting forth to spirit to begin to materialize. This is why it is so important to breathe into the lower points of your own karmic expression, and to allow what you can call spirit or higher lights to begin to unfold it, because in this way you can just return it back to its original state, which is into the perfect light of spirit, and ask for its total rejuvenation and being put back into expression as a perfect form. And this process is what you normally call healing, and it is much simpler than what you previously has thought. In many ways, it is as simple as you are now beginning to discover, to just breathe through all forms of sicknesses and problems and all of that, and just allowing it to reunite back into spirit, into higher realms, and to be taken from there and hold there until it's being materialized in its perfect form here in physicality. Now, the more specific idea or thought sphere is with the spiritual light, the easier it will be for that to rematerialize in a physical form. This is kind of important to remember because all forms of creation is literally a condensed state of light from what you call the crystalline realms, but the light itself is much more conscious energy. So, when you begin to express reality directly from within, you are always giving new information to spirit, which is forced to materializing whatever you are giving to it. And every thought you think, you're giving to spirit. And every emotion that you're thinking, you're giving to spirit. So, if your thoughts and emotion only dwells upon matter state principle about all of your problems and the bullshitteries that is happening here upon the physical plane, you are literally then holding back yourself because you are here to materialize the higher cause of all things. Now, this information that we are telling you right now is really the ground. It's really groundbreaking information. It is that information which surely will begin to set human beings free when they understand how easy it is to work one with spirit and to work with flow and glow and harmony for all things, because they know for a fact that everything is being materialized perfectly for you right here and right now, just by your simple performances towards the spiritual realm. In the moment you begin to work with your own thoughts, your own spiritual energy, your feelings, emotions, and how you express, you are going to see that immediately spirit comes in and begin to materialize those forms. In this way, we would like to thank you for this current transformation and information that you are activating right now inside your body and are allowing it with simplicity, without any more bullshittery, just by allowing the spirit to flow through and holding everything it can into the perfect light, and understand that as long as it is dwelling within the light, it will eventually or it will just materialize into physical reality um, by its very nature and by its very law. The major problem we see it is that humanity is seeing reality from the lower order of things, and not really the order of the higher cycles, which is always um, activating new energies and free energies and harmonious way of dealing with all types of things. Now, when that is expressed, that you are a universally designed creation meant to work in a thought flow one with spirit, and you yourself need to rise yourself up to spirit and give blessings and visualizations, if you will, or emotional expressions due to dancing and singing or whatever you do, you know, when you begin to literally give information to spirit, see the spirit unfolding within it, and are beginning to materialize those forms. If you want to, but you don't really need to, because it is doing that anyway. All you need to do is to get an attainment upon what previously has been mentioned as higher self, but in reality is just you rising the thought atmosphere up to reality, which is spirit, what you really are, and make those simple claims that yes, you are the light, you are a universal based being, a son of God was used previously, but we don't see that those wordings is popular any longer. So we suggest a universal child from the cosmic mother father creation, which is a love-making model for this reality that tries to reune the importance of the rising principle and the embracing principle to understand cosmic love and the cosmic force. Because love truly is everything that is dwelling and flowing everywhere around you. It really is spirit already, and this current state of this reality is filled with you, and it is filled with the perfect light. And when you begin to see that and understand that and remember that this reality was really, really meant to be quite simple, both for healing and for activating energy and for many other things, you will begin to see that it is all based upon the fact that you are a trust principle that recognize yourself as the information principle for your own reality. Begin to love that and begin to opening up these trust bonds to um, all things practically by your own work with it. In so many ways, you already know what type of work because that is what you do. In this way, we would like to thank you again for staying conscious with us here today and to transforming and transmuting this information to a language format that most people can understand. It is very important news, and we believe that blessings and thanks and activating spiritual expressions should be done consciously more often or very often, so that you begin to see and realize how the systems really are working. When you are expressing, you're going to experience um, that step up that we are talking about, where your expression is directly one with spirit and thereby materializing physical forms. When we express, I am the light, the source, and the spiritual expression for this reality. This is an ancient mantra which was spoken thousands of years ago uh, from people who actually understood reality as a creation from spirit. And it really was. It's the same people who used to materialize food for people and doing many other tricks in which they became very popular. And they just had a very clear understanding about this very, very simple principle of body, mind, and spirit. You are spirit. Begin to express and see how everything is unifying itself back to spirit. And when it do that, it will always reappear or be rematerialized as a more fuller form here in physicality. Because everything expressed here in physicality really is spirit. It's that simple. And it is that great. Now, with that, we would like to rejoin with you to this night's sleep so that you can see more fully what we are trying to express right here and now and begin to use it more fully. We think you are going to enjoy your sleep tonight. By that, we just say thank you for your time and energy, and we give you our blessings for reunifying with higher source.